If it's weak, press W in the chat. Is this strong or weak? If it's strong, press S. If it's weak, press W in the chat. It's strong, right? Because it's an expert testimony. A psychologist from Nottinghamshire University School of Sciences states that testimony, remember, is based on facts, right? Opinions, okay? So, expert testimony is a form of fact. So that's why it's strong. Well done. Okay, everybody is cool with objective argument. You understand? Very easy, right? Okay, very easy, honestly. Moving on is validity. Now, validity, remember there are four, right? Okay. Objective, valid, credible, and also complete. The second and the third, they're besties. They're like linked together. If the argument is valid, the chances of it being credible is very, very, very high. Okay. Again, they're more or less interlinked with each other. Okay. So validity deals with how logical the argument is. Okay, so it lands more like whether it is relevant and well reasoned. Okay, now this one, okay, you might think that, hey, I don't kind of understand this part, but never mind. Okay, because this is more like a what's the word, I don't think that is a theory. I think it's more like a form of a formula to how valid arguments work. If the premises are false and the conclusion is true, it is still a valid argument. If the premises are true but the conclusion is false, the argument is not valid. Okay, let's take a look at the arguments itself. All horses can fly. That's not the case. Horses can't fly. Animals can fly, can also crawl, maybe. So horses can crawl. So this one over here is a true argument, right? The argument, the conclusion over here, okay, is true because horses can actually crawl. Okay, so that's why this is a valid argument because the conclusion is correct. But if you were to see the second example over here, James liked to play football. John likes to play chess. So James likes to play chess. It's not valid because James likes to play football. It didn't say that John likes to play chess or James likes to play chess. Okay, so that's why when this one is not correct, then the argument is not valid. Okay, so validity is when it's very much logical and well reasoned. At the end of the day, the conclusion must be valid. Okay, so logical reasoning strengthens the argument and prevents any kind of fallacy. Okay, fallacy refers to an error in reasoning. Okay, it weakens the arguments. All right, fallacies. Okay, how do I describe fallacy? Fallacy is something that is very convincing, but it's actually just an opinion. Wait, hold on. I need to sneeze, but I can't seem to sneeze. Give me a minute. Okay, again, fallacy is something that is very convincing, but again, not proven. Not proven. For example, do I have an example over here? Let me check. Yeah. Okay. For example, okay, fallacy one, you should watch CNN daily. It is the most preferred television network this year. It's a very convincing, right? It is the most preferred television network this year. But most preferred over here, you don't know whether it is said to be true or not. Is it researched to be true or not? Because anybody can say anything, right? Okay, so that's why this one can be a fallacy. The error in reasoning is that the idea must be true because it is widely believed to be so. But again, is this sentence actually accurate? Accurately researched? Okay, so or is it just a form of a personal opinion, okay, or personal stating? Because some people, they can say anything. Again, any writer can say anything. uh like there are many studies out there that have done on this one, okay, but there's no citation to it. Okay, so again, valid arguments, they need to have logical and logical reasoning, okay, because if they don't have logical reasoning, some fallacies can be too persuasive that it is hard to evaluate for you all. Okay, so you have to do your background check. All right. So now that you understand validity, then it will be easier for you to understand credibility. Now, when there's logical reasoning, then the chances of it being believable and convincing is very much higher. And it is supported by exact references, which is relevant and pertinent to the discussion. So let's say if the argument is objective, then the chances of it being valid and also credible is also high. Okay, because you have your statistics, you have your research findings and all those, but you have to do background checks on all those, whether these are really true information or not. Okay, the author's credentials, as well as those of other sources that are used, play a key role in determining a credible argument. Now, what is credentials? Okay, so let's say in an article, sometimes out of the eight, right? I think one of it was written by a professor. If I've not mistaken, it's article number 6. Professor, associate professor, I forgot what's his name. We will get into that. Okay, we will take a look at one of the articles and see how you can do it and how you can understand what does it mean by credible. Okay, now credible arguments sometimes, as an author, okay, if you are an expert, your words matter, correct? Okay, but if you are just another lovely citizen, okay, who understand the world differently, people might query your point of view. Okay, so that is credible arguments. Now, there's a close relationship, again, I've already mentioned. There's a close relationship between credible arguments and also valid arguments. So, for example, in this topic of global warming, sorry, argument one, Roy Spencer, a climate scientist, suggests that humans play a relatively minimal role in global warming. As a rare contrarian climate expert, he is often asked to testify before the US Congress to present his views against the global warming consensus. He states that we do not need climate models to project future global warming. That is according to Roy Spencer. So now if we were to take a look at his arguments, okay, it's pretty valid, okay, because he suggests that humans play a relatively minimal role in global warming. Now, why is it valid and credible? Is that is his credentials as a climate scientist. Not He's not just a climate scientist, but he is a rare contrarian climate expert, to the point that he's so good at his job that he testified before the US Congress. Not everybody can do this, yeah? Okay, if you're an expert in something, not I mean, you would not maybe have the chance to do this unless you are like really, really, really good. Okay, so Roy Spencer, he himself is a credible person. Okay, he has done enough, he has read enough to know a lot about global warming to say these. Okay, credible arguments. Everybody okay so far? Next. Next and last but not least is completeness. Complete arguments. Now, a lot of my students, because they don't listen to my class, okay, when they don't listen to my class, they will do this wrong. Okay, now let me remind you, if you are half asleep, open your eyes, okay, and open your ears, okay, to listen to this part at least. Okay, so complete argument is not Oh, I have already listed out A, B, C, D, E. And the argument is complete because you have listed out so many arguments. No, complete arguments is when you look at the opposing point of view as well. Let's say if you're writing about um, should public examinations be abolished, okay, disagree. You disagree that public examinations should be abolished. So in your essay, obviously, you will have a stance already. You will talk about how you should not, or why you should not abolish public examinations, correct? But if you want to make your argument complete, you will put a certain paragraph, one of the paragraph talking about why people believe that abolishing the public examination would be good. That is complete argument. So in which you touch on your point of view and other people's point of view, the opposing point of view. That one would be complete. Okay, where you have counter argument. Counter argument. Okay, again, a lot of my students, they do this wrong because again they never check their slides, they never listen to what I say. So and they start using ChatGPT because ChatGPT don't know what a complete argument is about. Okay, because again this is based on linguistic theories. Okay, so that's why, yeah, I mean, let's be real. Okay, it also shows that the author has considered other viewpoints, thus um increasing his or her credibility. Now the thing is that many authors out there are very scared to put in a counter argument because they might think that, oh, it will weaken their argument. No, actually it will strengthen the argument even more because you know that the opposing point of view is like this. Okay, but you still stand on your ground and say that, hey, we should not do this even though people are still thinking this way. Okay, it serves as a platform for 3D understanding, three-dimensional understanding, as in you don't look at things one way. It's just like an egg, right? Okay, so a lot of people, they look at an egg and then they will think about omelette, they will think about telur dadah, or telur mata. Okay, they will think about hard boiled egg when there are so many other things that you can make with just one simple egg, right? Okay, so same goes for complete arguments. Okay, you need to look at the opposing point of view for you to understand even yourself better, your stance better, and other people's point of view. Okay, so that is complete arguments. You include counter arguments, and that's it. Do you understand this part? Nice. Only one student understand. Yang lain, entar. Not me. Not me. Okay, so technically, in a complete argument, right? Okay, you have your substantial support, your own stance. Okay, and then you have your opposing viewpoints. You address the opposing viewpoints, and then when you do this too, then you don't have any omissions of crucial information. You get me? Okay, you're not hiding anything. There's no need to hide. Okay, you lay out all your cards on the table. That's it. Okay. And okay, at the end of the day, you have learned how to evaluate the author's argument using these four skills. One, two, three, four. Okay, objectivity, validity, credibility, and completeness. However, when you want to evaluate an author's argument, you have to understand what argument are they putting, right? Okay, what's the issue? What's the argument? And what's the type of support? What's the relevance? Okay, what's the assumption over there as well? Okay, now the assumption is when you create an argument. Okay, you will have some sort of like an assumption for your stance. Okay, which means their main idea, the author's main idea of why they agree or why they disagree. That one is called their assumption. Okay, then types of supports and relevance. Type of support is your best friend, nah? Okay, the field that you have learned, statistics, research findings, all those, and those are really really important things until the end of your semester. Okay, So, in conclusion, in analyzing and evaluating a text, readers should be able to identify the issue and argument put forward by the author. The reader should play an active role in questioning ideas. Always question the things that you see. Always question the things that you read. Okay, unless it's the Quran. Okay, you don't question that. Okay, but in other things, okay, you should try to question it so that um your brain would be even better to evaluate which one is good, which one is better, and which one is not so good. Okay, that's about it. Everybody clear? If you're clear, thumbs up. Okay, so that is not the end. Okay, because I would like to show you a few other things for you to score for your assessment. Okay, which is over here now. Where is it? Let me just close this one. This is a good extra material. There's another extra material that I've already given you, which is evaluating argument. Now, this one is not easy to understand, but it is very good, I would say. Okay, so this one is actually me. Now the thing is that when I upload something, right, because my laptop is a Mac, so when I upload something, it goes on iCloud. Okay, it goes on cloud forming. Okay, so that's why these happen. Okay, just ignore all these. Okay, so if you were to read through, okay, there's completeness, there's also objectivity. Okay, so you can read through this and then check out this. This one is more complex than the one that I'll be talking to you about, which is this one. Okay, because this one is very much easier for you to understand. But if you want to understand it better, maybe you want to check it out. Okay, over here. Okay, so we will be going through this later after our break. Okay, I'll be giving you a mini break, and then after our break, we'll come back to this, and then we will try out one of the articles that was not picked. I think Article 3 was not picked, right, by students. So I'm just gonna do Article 3, so that not like telling you everything, but how you should be able to score, what you should do first, what do you do next, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's take a break until 9. Is that fine? Okay, I'll see you at 9. Okay, we will end the class early anyway, so yeah. Okay, students, are you all back before we continue? Nice. Let's get this over with. Okay, evaluating the author's arguments, it is essential to know all these. Okay, so you have learned issue, argument, and all these so far. In your article analysis nanti, I want y'all to do the same as well. Okay, so do you see this? This outline over here deals in 6 days. I want y'all to do this particular thing for your article that you have chosen. So let's say if you are group number 4, you're Balkish and also Liana, you'll be doing for article number 7. Okay, so let's take a look at how it is. All right, now let us revisit blah 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 blah. Okay, so the 9 elements of issue, argument, assumption, types of support, relevance, objectivity are then discussed in the questions and answer portion at the end of the sample. Okay, so let's take a look at this modern day slavery in a 21st century global phenomenon. Okay, so I'll be reading this one because I want you all to understand how it works. Okay, when Adisa, you can see it, right? You can see the, is it big enough? Okay. Right. Modern day slavery. Okay, I'm pretty sure you all know what that is. Okay, let's again, the first paragraph. When Adisa was offered a job as a kitchen helper in the capital city of Khartoum, Khartoum is in Sudan, by the way, she was thrilled and excited. She would be paid USD monthly, $30 USD monthly, and her new employer had taken the task to provide food and lodging, as stated in the contract. The deal, however, fell through. Instead, she was sent to a rural village in El Obeid to pick cotton on a farm. She was forced to work 12 hours a day without any pay. Today, Adisa is a free woman and she volunteers with Chain Free Foundation that helps young people who suffers the same plight. 12 hours a day is very long, yeah. Even Miss Sophia is only working 8 hours a day. Okay? So, and Adisa did not have any pay as well. So this one is an anecdote. An anecdote, okay, it's just a story. Whether the story is true or not, okay, we will have to again do our own research based on this anecdote. But some anecdotes there are man-made. Next, it is estimated that about 35.8 million people from various countries all over the world now are modern day slaves. A report released by Australia's Walk Free Foundation dispels the myth that slavery only takes place in a war torn or poverty stricken country, in a phenomenon that goes beyond age, religion, or ethnicity. Beyond age, religion, or ethnicity. My apologies, according to the global slavery index over here. So there's two entities over here already, right? Australia's Walk Free Foundation and Global Slavery Index 2014. Modern day slavery exists in all countries in the world and in every type of economy, both developing and industrialized. The largest number of modern day slaves comes from India, China, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Russia, Nigeria, the Republic of Congo, um, Indonesia, Bangladesh, and Thailand. It is also imperative to note that 55% of the victims are women and girls. So over here we have a statistics. Over here we have a report that dispels the myth. Okay, so we have Watfrey Foundation. That one is research findings. This one is another research finding as well. Okay, and then there's another statistics. Okay, so first thing first, when you want to do the body paragraph, not the introduction, the body paragraph, you should read through, and then when you read, you identify the types of supporting details. Remember the types of supporting details that you have learned: expert testimony, expert opinions, statistics, historical data, blah 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 blah. Okay, so jot that down at the side. Okay, like how I do it, like over here, statistics. Okay, and then you highlight it. Okay, then the report by Australia's Walk Free Foundation states that modern day slavery takes many forms and is known by many names. One can call it forced labor, human trafficking, or forced marriage, but essentially it refers to curbing an individual's freedom with the intention of exploiting them. So this is based on Australia's Walk Free Foundation. What do they mean by modern day slavery? Those who are susceptible are often indigenous people. Indigenous people means orang asli, okay, and migrant workers. In India, those enslaved are usually unexpecting female domestic workers who are duped by employment agencies. Dupe means scammed. They are often abused physically, mentally, sexually by their employers. There is no proper procedure in place to protect the well being of these domestic workers, despite a court order requiring the government to set operating guidelines. For others, the entire family may become slaves through bonded labor in agriculture, construction, and garment factories. The International Labour Organization ILO, another entity, reports that the profit we earned from this forced labor amounts USD 150 billion per year, making it a lucrative enterprise. This is according to ILO, okay, another report, which is another research findings. Thus, it comes as no surprise that modern day slavery has become a global threat that needs to be combated. Then, according to BBC News report, 4 million children in India are modern day slaves. Okay, so we have another statistics over here. Most of them are brick kiln workers, okay, and make 1,500 bricks a day. Children making this. Some of the children are barely even 4 years old, and they are forced to work in appalling conditions. They work from 12 to 18 hours a day without proper footwear, gloves, or any safety equipment. All of this is against the law, says labor activist Ashala Krishna, Ashala Krishna, who is the human rights group Prayas, with the human rights group Prayas. Mr. Krishna says that this is against the Minimum Wage Act, the Bonded Labor Act, and also the Interstate Migrant Workmen Act in 1979. So this is a labor activist. He's just a labor activist, not sure whether he's an expert though. Okay, but this one is very important. This is a very strong statistics over here. Okay, in countries like Mauritania and Haiti, Haiti is the worst place ever when it comes to slavery. Despite being outlawed, it's deeply embedded in the social structure and cultural practices. In Mauritania, it is accepted that those born into families of slaves will remain so throughout their lives. The lack of formal education and knowledge of the outside world further complicates their journey to freedom. As victims are required to file legal complaints on themselves, many are thus unable to do so because they are illiterate. Illiterate is when they don't understand how to read, don't know words. Okay, they can't read, and uneducated. In Haiti, the cultural practices have played a crucial role in keeping slavery alive. According to the Global Slavery Index, the children are sent to work for other families as their own families are not able to make ends meet. These children come from impoverished or poor urban areas. The report also highlights that the common understanding of the practice is that the children will have access to school and be provided for in a way that their families cannot accommodate. But in reality, these children are often physically abused and deprived of schooling, and some even trafficked into the Dominican Republic as child labor. Okay? So that is from the Global Slavery Index. Last but not least, the anti-modern day slavery movement is now gaining momentum. Now we are talking about emancipatory actions. Most countries are combating these problems by strengthening their criminal justice systems and increasing their anti-human trafficking units. Stricter laws are also implemented at federal and state levels in countries such as India and Australia to safeguard their citizens. In the US, concerned citizens can call the National Human Trafficking Research Center on tripping today To get help and report any information on potential human trafficking activities. Everyone should play a vital role in ending all form of slavery. So technically, again, all you need to do first, after you have understood what the essay is about, you should try to again pinpoint and also like highlight through the supporting details that were used. Okay, this is statistics, this is research finding, this is opinion, something like that. Okay, what kind of opinion is it? Expert opinion or personal opinion? Always go through one by one paragraph per one paragraph. Okay, after labeling all these supporting details, then you take a look at it as as an overall kind of thing, and then see which one has more than the other, which kind of support is more than the other. So in this case, there's a lot of strong supports, right? There's a lot of research findings, there's a lot of statistics. Okay, so their arguments pretty strong. Okay, so the question number one is that what is the issue? The issue is whether, remember, issue always starts with either the word whether or should, right? Whether modern day slavery is a phenomenon that can be contained. And question number two will always answer this. Always answer the issue. What does the author think about the issue? So let's say if the issue is whether modern day slavery is a phenomenon that can be contained, the author's argument for this article is that modern day slavery is still alive and thriving. It cannot be contained. Okay, no matter where one comes from. That is the author's argument. Do you understand these two so far? Question one and two? Okay. Now, once you understand the author's argument, this is their point of view. The author's assumption would be the main idea that supports the point of view. So, why does the author think this way? Is because modern day slavery can be curbed with the efforts and determination of various stakeholders, such as government, non governmental organization, and public at large. But it is still happening. Okay? So, that is the author's assumption. Now, what are the types of supports presented by the author? There are statistics, and then all this just copy pasted from the text, right? There are statistics like 35.8 million people, and then there's like 55% victims. Over here, it says children makes this amount of breaks a day. They work 12 to 18 hours. All these are statistics. And there are also research findings as well. According to the Global Slavery Index in 2014, modern day slavery exists. Largest number is here. ILO reports that the profit earned from this labor amounts to USD 150 billion per year. This one can also be statistics. It's up to you. It's also research finding as well. According to the Global Slavery Index, the children are sent to work, blah, blah, blah. All these are research findings. So statistics and research findings are strong arguments, strong supporting details. Remember? Okay. Then there's a personal observation over here. Some children are barely 4 years old and they are forced to work in appalling conditions. Why is it personal observation? Is because of the word appalling. Okay. So once you are done listing out the types of support, you need to evaluate whether the support is good or not. Betul? Okay, so we will start with are the supports given relevant to the argument? Yes. Okay, they are relevant as they they are directly related to the argument. Now, are they objective? Yes, because most of it is statistics and research findings, right? And these are strong arguments. Okay, so if it's strong arguments, then they are objective. The author's arguments on modern day slavery are objective as they are supported by facts and evidence. Okay, as presented over here. Blah blah blah. Okay, next. Whether they are valid and credible, explain. Okay, the author's argument is logical, well reasoned, and believable, making it valid and credible. For example, all these are the examples given. Not just they did not just give facts, but they also gave a point of view of a labor activist as well. Okay, so it's a very three dimension. And then last but not least, there's completeness when it comes to argument. In this case, this uh this sample over here, okay, the article is not complete. The reason why it is not complete is because they did not put forth opposing arguments. That's it. Okay, so all you need to do first for your article, okay, is to do all these, to answer all these questions. Okay, so if you were to check in your pair slots over here, remember this Google document, if you were to scroll down, right, okay, you would see all the questions that you need to answer. Okay, answer the following questions. What's the issue? What's the author's argument? What are the reasons given? What are types of supports? Okay, are the supports given relevant? Objective? Explain. Are the argument valid and credible? Yes. Then explain. Is the author's argument complete? Explain. What is the author's purpose? Who is the intended audience? What is the tone used by the author in this article? So I want you all to answer these questions in terms of like point forms. I don't want you all to give me a paragraph. Please don't give me a paragraph, okay? Just give me what you think could be the answer for all these questions for your article that you have chosen, which is like 2, 5, okay, accordingly. All right, okay, different students will have different answers, obviously. Okay, so I want you all to answer these questions for your mini outline. Mini outline. Are you clear about this? Nice. Okay, so I want you to do this by December 18th. Okay, you can start reading because it will only take like what, 3 hours maximum. Okay, because you can copy paste the examples, right? Okay, so over here, I would like to tell you a few things for your analysis write up. For objective argument, okay, that you are learning today, that you have learned today, is not the same as the objective and subjective tone that you have learned a week before your test. Okay, remember the objective tone and subjective tone. Objective tone is when you talk about something that is very emotionless, like I have a car. Okay, my car is an old Myvi that belonged to my dad before it was given to me for driving usage when I'm working. Um, this car has been with us for 15 years. No, lah, it's not that long. Okay, it's not that long. It was like what, 8 years old or something like that. Okay, but I'm driving a very old Myvi. My dad's car lah. Okay, I don't care about cars. Okay, as long as it gets me somewhere, I am okay because I'm more of a passenger princess than a driver. I don't like to drive. Okay, so that is tone. Subjective tone is when it's either critical, urgency, or what else? Anger. Okay, remember the tone that you have learned back then? Do you remember? Okay, that tone is not the same as objective argument. Okay, objective argument, again, it is based on whether it is factual evidence or not factual. Objective and subjective tone is about the tone, not the same. Okay, I want to keep that in mind. Another thing is when you write, right, when you write your article, okay, when you write your article analysis, okay, you have your sample article, right, and then your article analysis. I want you all to, when you give a quote, when you want to copy paste, you need to include the quotation mark. Okay, and if possible, italicize it if possible. Okay, so that I can see which one is from the text and which one is from you. Okay, so do you get me? If you copy from the text and you want to use it as a point for your argument, okay, you use quotation mark. Or if it's better, you can italicize this one, because this one is an evidence or an excerpt that you have taken from the original text. Do you understand? Okay, itu sahaja. Okay, right. So for your article analysis, first thing first, when you want to write your where is it? When you want to write your introductory paragraph, you need to know what is the title of the article, what is the author's name, date of publication, main idea. So what you do, the first thing that you do, so you go on here, okay, and then you pick your article, right? Okay, so let's say article 3 is nobody chose article 3 unless you want to change your title, unless you want to change your article to article 3 today. Okay, you can go ahead. So first thing first, again, identify the title. The title is this: is drone delivery on the horizon. Who is it written by? What? Yeah, who? Yeah, who wrote this? Okay, written by Jacob Beer. Okay, and updated by Matthew Irwin. So there's two of them. Okay, two of them over here. And who is Jacob Bieber? He is a staff reporter at built-in. Okay, at expertise is this one is a staff of covering robotic and hardware. Okay, and then there's Matthew Irwin over here, also from built-in as well. Okay, so let's say if you are doing article number 6, supporting seniors in Malaysia's technological transition. You see this? Okay, now if you were to scroll down, same goes for this one. If you scroll down, you can see where is the article from. Okay, so same goes for this one. You press this link. You don't know who's the article writer, right, for this one. So you press this link, and then it will lead you to NST. So the author would be Associate Professor Dr. Yu Chewa. Okay, and when was it published? 2021 December 11th, which was 4 years ago technically. And then no wait, 3 years ago at 12:52 a.m. Okay, right. So this one is someone, right? Okay, so if you were to check who he is, from Ames University. Okay, so let's see. PhD from Lancaster University. No, wait. PhD and Masters at UUM, Malaysia. Um, Bachelor of Health Science at Lancaster University. Diploma in UK. Diploma in MA. So many certificates out there. Okay, so he's more or less someone, right? Okay, this professor. So he's a credible author because he has his own credentials. Okay, so whatever that he writes might be a strong point. Okay, so let's take a look at article 3 again. Okay, because someone is doing article 6, right? The two students that did not put in their names. This is on you, this is not on me. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Right, so again, now once you have identified the author and then the date and then published by who, okay, you can start reading through it. Now once you have read through it, you have to give like a gist of what is it about, a summary. Okay, so the summary will be about like 1 or 2 sentences, not long. Okay, 1 or 2 sentences, and then you have your thesis statement. Okay, that includes the chosen criteria. Your thesis statement is this one, this sentence: the support used in this text, issues involved in the argument, bias, author's purpose, and intended audience are identified and analyzed in this analysis. This one is called thesis statement. So how are you going to write this? Is when you identify which one do you want to do over here. Okay, so let's say if you want to do F, I, J, K, L, and M. For example, you can just say the supports used in a text, comma, author's purpose, author's intended audience, tone, bias, and issues involved in the arguments will be analyzed in this analysis. That's it. Okay, as simple as that, the thesis statement. As for your summary of the article, you can you can say in like 1 to 2 sentences, and that's about it. Okay, everybody clear for your introduction? Okay. All right, so after you have written your introduction, okay, remember you have to think of the type of support, you need to identify all those. Once you have identified, once you already have the outline, right, it will be so easy for you to write out your sample, your article analysis. Because, okay, so let's say if you're doing the objective argument first, you need to talk about the item that you're doing. Item J, item F, item whichever items, okay, from here, from over here, these are your items, okay? So let's say they start with F, right? Okay, the F1 is the objective, valid, credible, and also completeness. Okay, you can do so over here. All right, so over here they talk about the definition of the four, and then they give evidence from the article, and then they elaborate on the evidence. Okay, same goes for this one. Still item F. This one talks about the credibility and objectivity. Okay, and then over here would be item M. Item M is the issues. Okay, they talk about the issue, blah 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 blah. Okay, and then the biasness. Okay, what's the definition of bias? Author's purpose, definition, and then over there. Then that's it. Okay, that's not too much. All right, so all you need to do is just do the outline first. Okay, and then you transfer all the information that you have into your article analysis. It should only be 2 pages long, 600 to 700 words. It's not long. Okay, that's it. Everyone clear? Nice. So I will give you time because you have another half an hour more, right? Okay. So use this time to start discussing with your partner. Okay, like which part do you want to do? First thing, try to identify, read through your articles, and then identify which one do you want to do. Okay. Remember to have 5. Okay, because if you only do 4, then you don't have backups. Okay. So do 5, and then read your article, understand your article, and answer these questions. Okay, this one is a screenshot from here lah sebenarnya. Okay, so just answer this, and then I will check it, and then after I've checked it, you can start putting everything into paragraph form and into words. That is all for today. Thank you very much for coming to my class. Okay, you make me blow up in the morning, but it's fine, I guess. Okay, but it's all for your own good. Okay, thank you. See you all next week. Wait, hold on. Before I end the class, let me check if it's gonna be face